G'day legends, and today's the day. I'm sick of it, it's time, we've had enough. There's no fun, Mr. Nice Dougie today. Let's have a laugh about the sport. No, not today. I'm sick of it. I believe that by the end of this month, it's now the start of March, by the end of this March, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall should be booked, or we need to strip Jon Jones. This is a demand going out to the UFC and to Dana White, that if Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall is not booked by the end of this month, we strip him. Strip it. No Diddy? Alright, a little bit of joking, but no Diddy, we strip him, okay? And I want the entire MMA community to get around this message just as loudly as we were about the oil him up movement, yeah? The strip Jon Jones, no Diddy movement needs to start around the MMA community. Let me kick off my argument with a couple of basic facts. Right, Jon Jones just fought against Uncle Steepy, beyond Uncle Steepy, quite frankly, against Grandpa Steepy. Even that doesn't quite go far. Against fossilized Steepy at UFC 309 in November. In November, boys. November, okay? He went into that bout at UFC 309 100% healthy. How do we know that Jon Jones was healthy? Because he took off a goddamn year. He took off a goddamn year to get healthy for it. And Jon Jones, he doesn't fight injured, okay? So not only did he take off the year to make sure that all of his injuries were completely healed up, that's why it took so long for that fight to happen against the fossilized Steepy. Jon Jones then spent the majority of that fight running away from Steepy whenever Jon wasn't advancing. If Jon wasn't advancing, he was running because he didn't want old man Steepy's old arthritis wrists to break on him. Okay, so he must have left that fight completely uninjured. That means that Jon Jones has been sitting on the sidelines with his belt, uninjured, just in the negotiating room. And what is he doing in the negotiating room, I ask you? What is he doing? He is just sort of pouting that he somehow deserves $30 million to defend his title against a defending, ready-to-go interim champion. Now, here is where we get into the nuts and the bolts of the negotiation itself, okay? Remember that when Jon Jones fought Ciryl Gane, he re-signed a 7-fight deal with the UFC, a massive deal with the UFC, where his intention was to fight for the heavyweight title. I assume that Jon Jones, presumed that he would win that fight against Ciryl Gane if he was going to take it, so then he would be presumably defending that heavyweight title 6 more times. That deal is done and it is signed. We are now 2 fights into that deal. 2 fights into that deal, and Jon Jones wants to renegotiate. He wants to renegotiate a previously agreed upon deal while he holds up the division, or else the division is just going to be on hold. That is extortion. That is dishonest business practices. I am shocked that Jon Jones is behaving this way, and he's getting, well, I guess I'm not really that shocked. Jon Jones is a prick. Jon Jones is a prick, yeah? But King Aspinall, he has given an update on everything that's going on, everything that's being held up. Why isn't this fight happening? Check out what King Aspinall has to say recently.
What is holding it up right now is his side. That's the truth of it. The UFC really want the fight to happen. They've told me that. This is, as I said, this is one of the biggest fights that can be made.
There we go. It looks like Tom's ready. It seems like he's in first class on a plane, just doing laps of the planet, high up in the sky, on Air Force Tom, waiting for Jon to sign the fight, and Tom Aspinall will just pull up at the arena, get off the plane, and kick his ass. Aspinall is circling the globe, waiting for a landing destination and a time so he can come down and fight Jon Jones. There's no escaping him, all right? UFC 313 is this weekend. We all know this, yeah? UFC 314 is booked. UFC 315 is booked. That's Valentina and Bilal. And JDM is going to be getting crowned, yeah? UFC 316, it's going to be Pantoja. They let it slip on the post-fight show this weekend. And the co-main event is going to be Juliana versus Kayla Harrison, okay? This has already been announced. So we have got everything all the way up until UFC 317, International Fight Week. Everything has been announced and booked in, yeah? It's the start of the month. By the end of this month, It's either happening with Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, or it isn't. UFC 317. Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall as the main event. Or Tom Aspinall versus Jailton Almeida as the main event, with Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria co-main. That is it. No more arguing about it. That's November to July. There's no more bullshitting left. There's no more talk left from Jon Jones. Jon, you signed a deal. You signed a deal. You are 2 fights into that deal. As a businessman, sitting down with a employer or an employee 2 services in to a 7-time servicing contract, how this is even getting talked about is a fucking joke. It's honestly a joke. Why is this negotiation even being listened to by Dana White? There's no way you would allow this in your life. There's no fucking way you would allow. We've all got mobile phones. We all sign like a 12-month or a 25-month deal with our mobile phone, and then we upgrade to the iPhone 37, whatever the fuck we're up to now. But you know what I'm saying, yeah? You go to T-Mobile, you're in Australia, you go to Telstra, you sign a 2-year deal, and then you get your phone, and that's it. The price is locked in. The price is locked in. Imagine, you go and get your brand new Samsung, your brand new iPhone, and then the first quarter into this contract, your phone provider calls you up, Telstra calls you up, T-Mobile calls you up, and they go, oh, we're actually going to increase the prices by 4 times as much. Is that okay with you? Why do I say that? Why do I say by 4 times as much, Because we know that Francis was offered $8 million plus pay-per-view points from the UFC to fight Jon Jones. And this was being touted as the biggest offer that anyone at heavyweight had ever been made. So if $8 million is our ceiling that we know, and Jon Jones is on a 7-fight deal, let's assume that Jon Jones is just below the ceiling because he's such a superstar. So let's say he's on $7 million for 7 fights plus pay-per-view. And now 2 fights into that contract, he goes, I want 30. The fucking audacity of this cunt. The audacity of him. And now people are saying, there seem to be rumors swirling around that Jon Jones, he's just sitting on the sidelines, he's waiting to see what happens with Alex Pereira. Which is, Jon, fucking irrelevant what happens with Alex Pereira, quite frankly, mate. It's irrelevant, okay? We're clearly not doing super fights at the moment. Like, if Pantoja can't fight Merab, and by the way, Pantoja 100% deserves a shot at Merab, while you do Manel Cap, cannot afford to lose, versus Kai Kara France for a number 1 contender spot, interim title. Like, this makes sense, but we're not doing it. So obviously we're not doing super fights. Like Ilia Topuria had to give up his belt to go and fight Islam Makhachev. We're obviously not doing super fights. Whatever happens between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira this weekend is irrelevant to you, Jon. And how dare you ask the UFC for a favor? I think I deserve to fight whoever I want. I think I've done enough in the UFC. I deserve to fight whoever I want. How dare you ask for a favor? They just did you a favor. They gave you the fossilized corpse of Stipe Miocic after giving you 12 months to heal up. The UFC just did you a massive favor, and now you're in the process of extorting your boss while simultaneously asking for a second favor in a row. I can't believe the UFC are listening to anything he is saying. I don't blame Jon Jones for having this kind of ego. I don't. It must make sense to him. Of course he has this kind of ego. Imagine the things that you think you can get away with when you've been Jon Jones your entire life. You've spent 8 hours hiding under a cage trying to escape the drug testing agency, and then you're still allowed to compete. You head kick your competition while being on said drugs, and then you're still allowed to compete after that. In fact, you're called the greatest after that. You beat the shit out of your wife and leave her bloody and battered in front of your kids and still call yourself a Christian man. And then when you win the title, she goes to give you a kiss and you just ignore her and she still sits by your side. No wonder this dude's ego is so inflated. No matter how much he absolutely fucks the world in the ass, it keeps begging him for more. How does he get away with it? How does he get away with it? I can't get my head around how he keeps getting away with it. It's enough. It's enough. Dana White, UFC, MMA fans, I implore you, I beg you, by the end of this month, any question, any media day, any post, anything that happens in the world of MMA, let's enjoy UFC 313. Let's enjoy this weekend. Let's enjoy it. But come Monday, I want a resounding noise from the MMA community, a resounding message. Strip Jon Jones, no Diddy. Everyone's video, everyone's message, anytime Dana White goes live, it's like the oil him up. Strip Jon Jones, no Diddy. I want it to be like the Let's Go Brandon chants around the arenas. Remember when that was happening a couple of years ago? Anytime anyone said anything on a microphone, it was just, let's go Brandon. All I want to hear is strip Jon Jones, no Diddy. Strip Jon Jones, no Diddy. Strip no Jones, no Diddy. Just get it out there. And I need you boys to help me get this message out there. I don't have the audience. You know? We gotta tell Left Lane, tell Lucas Tracy, tell Bedtime. You know, get it out there. Get the monster, the boogeyman of MMA YouTube on board. The giant. Someone donate to Guru $5. Strip Jon Jones, no Diddy. This is our battle cry this month. We demand Tom Aspinall fight at International Fight Week against Jon Jones or Jailton Almeida. Full fucking stop. No questions asked. It's insane to even contemplate anything else at this point. Good, I'm happy I got that off my chest. If this is your first time here, g'day. My name's Dougie. I usually make an MMA video 5 days of the Monday through Friday, every day of the week, and I go live about 3 times a week. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you like this video, give it a like. And yeah, if you're one of the paying members of the channel, thank you so much. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Woosah. See you later, boys. Have a good day.